On April 10th, YTN published an article titled ILLIT, Even Breathing Caused Controversy, Looking Back on a Stormy First Year. It was written by reporter Kwak Hyun-soo, and it really struck a chord, especially for ILLIT fans, GLLIT. As you know, ILLIT recently marked their first debut anniversary, and this article does a great job capturing everything that they have been through and how they have grown over the past year. And I thought it was pretty moving. So I wanted to read this article out loud because for fans who remember everything that's happened this past year, the words alone are enough to hit hard, but I thought it would be more meaningful to record this video with related images to preserve those memories more vividly. So I'll read through the article, and as always, I'll share some of my own thoughts at the end. So here we go. Just Breathing sparked controversy, looking back on ILLIT's tumultuous first year. Every seedling weathers wind and rain to grow into a tree. But for rookie girl group ILLIT, who just debuted in the K-pop scene, the past year has been far more than just a passing storm. What they faced wasn't a drizzle, it was a hurricane, a tsunami of mockery and hostility. And the fact that they managed to put down roots in the middle of it all, that alone borders on a miracle. It's only been a year since their debut, but ILLIT has shown that simply stepping onto the stage can become a battleground, where intense judgment and emotional reactions collide. From the start, it went far beyond people liking or disliking them. The group became a target of relentless, coordinated mockery and cyberbullying. Critics picked apart every detail, their tone of voice, facial expressions, even minor stage gestures, capturing moments, turning them into reaction memes, and spreading them across YouTube Shorts and social media. ILLIT wasn't treated like rising artists. They were turned into caricatures, something to parody, not support. Things got worse after the public clash between HYBE, ADOR, and NewJeans. Once the dispute went public, ILLIT got boxed into a narrative, the project to replace NewJeans. NewJeans fueled this narrative in press conferences and interviews, claiming ILLIT's concept was similar to NewJeans and even using the word plagiarism. Suddenly, ILLIT were branded copycats, a knockoff NewJeans. And from there, it snowballed. When one ILLIT member casually said she liked kalguksu, which is Korean noodle soup, some dug up an old NewJeans interview where a member said, it's not an interview, but a content, where a member said she didn't really know about kalguksu, twisting the two into a fake controversy, claiming ILLIT was throwing shade. Then came the Ignore Her incident, which blew up all the way to the National Assembly and the courts. NewJeans member Honey claimed an ILLIT manager told them to ignore her. Even though later released CCTV footage showed ILLIT members bowing in a polite 90-degree angle, the damage was done. The narrative stuck. Truth didn't matter anymore. What followed was a war of blind hatred. The most troubling part was that all of this was packaged as justified criticism. Insults about appearance disguised as reaction content. Harsh comparisons using the concept controversy as an excuse. Branding them as plagiarist based on loose similarities. It all snowballed, fueled by emotion and reason. And yet, ILLIT kept going. They promoted not only in Korea, but also in Japan, and steadily released their own content. On March 25th, for their first debut anniversary, they held a small concert with their fandom, GLLIT. They performed an acoustic version of Magnetic, as well as Cherish, My Love, and Almond Chocolate, with the band arrangement. connecting with fans on their own terms. Over the past year, it felt like ILLIT were cornered just for existing. But they didn't break. They held their ground. And through it all, they survived. Even in an unexpected storm, this little seedling is still standing tall, still growing. And that was the article written by, again, Kwak Hyunsu, or Hyunsu Kwak. So thank you for that thoughtful piece. Now, as you probably have heard, ILLIT indeed recently hit 1 billion streams on Spotify. So congrats to Team ILLIT, the folks and staff at beliftlab, and of course the fans, GLLIT. Congratulations to all of you. And looking back, this past year was indeed overwhelming. It was a year flooded with hate comments, malicious shorts, mockery, and downright cruelty. When I made a reaction video to ILLIT's its live content yesterday, I mentioned this too. If you look at the comment sections these days, you'll see a lot of people expressing sympathy for these members, right? People are starting to acknowledge how much ILLIT has endured, and they genuinely feel for them. Even those who weren't originally fans say they became interested in ILLIT out of empathy, and eventually fell for their music and charm. One example, there's a Japanese commenter wrote, "I'm not a big fan, but knowing what these girls went through last year, this video almost made me cry. I'm cheering for them. I'm rooting for you." Personally, I just hope that going forward, ILLIT can leave behind the hardships of the past year and thrive without being haunted by what they went through. More than becoming fans out of pity, I hope people would become fans simply because ILLIT shines on their own, because they're genuinely brilliant and radiant. That said, I can't help but feel this too. I will probably never forget the individuals and entities who created that hell, the people and the person who spread malicious mockery, hate, and cruelty. And there are a lot of things that we can't and shouldn't forget as fans. For example, the huge number of meme clips and hateful shorts generated as a result of this hate campaign, smear campaign. What I'm showing you right now is just a small sample of the flood of shorts made by the company Fast View. And even the parents of the certain group members joined in to take shots at ILLIT. And they mobilized people online, publicly pinpointed them. And one of the members of that certain group even posted a jab on ILLIT's debut day that by saying stop copying, by writing the message stop copying on this photo. And more recently, those members literally went to court and saying, metaphorically speaking, grabbed ILLIT by the hair. 머리채를 잡다. They claimed ILLIT ignored us. They mocked us with their words and actions, and they copied us. Thankfully, the court ruled 11-0 against that certain group in the injunction case. But honestly, if the ruling had gone the other way, I can't even imagine how terrible things could have gotten. beliftlab, which is ILLIT's agency, responded firmly last year, right, through legal actions against the very person behind all this hatred, hate campaigns, and smear campaigns. So I'm personally going to keep watching how the lawsuits play out and what results come from them. And as for the individuals who mass-produced those malicious shorts I mentioned earlier, the company behind, I'm also curious to see what kind of legal consequences they might face. And now, it seems like a lot of people are finally realizing, looking back on what ILLIT went through last year, that the whole thing was just madness. Here are some of the comments people are leaving on this short, which was originally filled with hate comments. People are now saying, ILLIT should honestly sue them. They suffered way too much. Looking at comments from 10 months ago, they're all disgusting. I just hope ILLIT is always happy. People swarmed in like cult followers, trashing ILLIT, ruining their image by calling them plagiarists and flooding their debut days with hate. Imagine how much those girls must have wanted to speak up. But they didn't manipulate public opinion. Others did. And they even dragged this into a National Assembly hearing over something unconfirmed. Maybe it's because they're young, but they should take full responsibility. And you know what this commenter is referring to and who they're referring to. These girls, they're honestly the most pitiful victims in all of this. I wish those other people felt at least double the pain they put ILLIT through. But I know they probably never will. And that just makes me furious. Just apologize already. They harassed the kids who had done nothing wrong, mentioning them over and over, bullying them. How painful must that time have been for ILLIT? If I had one wish, it would be to never see those people in the entertainment industry again. I won't go around cursing like their fans did, but seriously, let's not see them ever again. Reading these comments, not to be dramatic, but honestly, Wonhee, thank you for still being here with us. And literally saying, thank you for still staying alive, Wonhee, this commenter said. And once again, I just want to say, I hope the ILLIT members, even if they can't completely forget what happened last year, will be able to move on, overcome it completely and go on to thrive. That said, it's up to the agency and the fans to continue protecting them, because there are still bitter people out there, people who can't stand the thought of ILLIT's success and keep lurking online, leaving malicious comments like ghosts, refusing to disappear. Yes, they're still around. But we don't need to fight hate with more hate, right? There is no need to stoop to their level. What we do need is to stand firm on principles, respond wisely and appropriately, and do what we can to protect the artists we care about and support. And that's basically the spirit behind everything I have said today. Lastly, I want to sincerely thank journalist Kwak Hyun-soo again for writing such a meaningful piece. And I will close by quoting something that beliftlab CEO Kim Tae-ho said in an interview back in November last year. I believe this should be resolved legally as soon as possible, and those responsible should be held accountable. Even if the truth comes out, it won't be easy to recover from the damage. These 5 members have their whole lives ahead of them, and to debut as idols at this age, every month must feel like a whole year. Their comeback was delayed because of this issue, and in this industry, once you fall behind, it's hard to catch up. If the members had done something wrong, I wouldn't feel as bad. But they're hardworking, kind, sincere kids, and if this issue ends up dragging them down, I don't think I could ever be at peace, even to my dying day. The people I feel the sorriest for are ILLIT fans. The people I feel the sorriest for are ILLIT fans. I don't know what they did to deserve all this. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Truly, thank you for continuing to support and love ILLIT even in the middle of this chaos. So that's what Mr. Kim Tae-ho said. All right, and that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. But let's all be mindful of the words we use. And let's protect the space and speak with respect and care for another. And as always, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you. That's all for now. Peace.